that made it all worth it.
Diddy stole the show, but the biggest surprise, and one of the best in 2 decades of VMAs, came at the very end of the night.
Guns N' Roses were the biggest rock band of the late 80s, and Axl Rose was the biggest rock star in the world. Around 1993, Axl kind of goes into hiding. Each year, the mystery would just grow. So inevitably, every year, we got to get Guns N' Roses.
Every single year since they've been off the road, we've said, what about Guns N' Roses?
We get laughed at and we move on. It happens every year. Somehow in 2002, I had started seeing rumblings on the internet about Guns N' Roses playing a show, but then it got canceled, but they did one. So it's like there was something in the air. About August, the head of the network gets a message from Guns management saying, we're coming.
So you're like, oh my God, of course we're gonna make a slot for Guns N' Roses.
But the whole time, you know, we've dealt with him for a long time. You think, until he's on that stage, live in front of everybody, we're not gonna believe it.
The risk is it leaking and the viewers thinking he's actually gonna be there and then he doesn't show up. So in this particular case, we had to really keep this quiet.
We didn't tell anybody they were playing on the show.
We call things Project X or Y or Z, or, you know, we'll label it an animal.
On all the schedules and everything, they called them the Frogs or something like that. They're like, oh yeah, it's some Swedish band, don't worry about it.
Nobody knew what was going on. I think literally 5, 6 people at best.
We decided he's gonna rehearse the last slot, close off Radio City, get everybody out.
Nobody was allowed in. And we were like, what could be such a big deal that no one can get in? People were asking me, can you get in there? You're on air. And I was like, I tried. It doesn't work.
The first thing that happens is the Guns N' Roses equipment starts arriving. And you see veteran producer people, you know, we're like, look, it's really here. Then you start seeing the band. And we're hearing them play the opening notes to Jungle. We just like, oh my God, you know. And then we realized, wait a minute, nothing's happened yet. Axl's not here yet. You know, let's not get too excited.
And then there's that moment where, you know, Axl walks in the room and you just know it.
The entire thing sounds like it's fake. You can point and move your mouth all you want. I can't read lips.
And the entire time, it's silent. Nobody wants to spook him, scare him. They run through it one more time. It ends. He walks out. We're all looking at you like, I can't believe that really happened. Let's see if it happens tomorrow.
The following day, we were all nervous that he wouldn't show. So once we knew he was safely in the trailer and this was really gonna happen, we had Jimmy come out and start doing some teases.
He kind of made a patience reference. At one point, he did the little whistling things.
Bear with us and have a little patience. We'll be right back.
And then it happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, Guns N'
The crowd was like, what? And anybody that had left the room came running back in. The reason they did this was because it was a great launching ground for their tour. And that was the beginning of his demise, unfortunately.
They were supposed to go on this tour. First night of the tour, Axl doesn't get there in time, so they can't go on, and the people that were at the venue basically just rioted and tore the venue apart. That's not a good start. And the tour ended up being halted midway through. It was all this hype and all this promise and no actual follow through, no execution. It's like Guns N' Roses, the gun doesn't go off, I don't know.
Coming up, a look at the very first Video Music Awards.